Hello and welcome back to the channel. Right, firstly I want to start off by saying thank you. I finally made 200 subs, so I made 201 at the last look, so thank you all for subbing, and thank you all for sort of keeping with me. Yes, I do intend to get a mic soon. I know it sounds poo. I'm also in a sort of a little game room, so the autistics, the caustics, oh, I can't even think of the word now. Jesus Christ, it's too early in the morning for me. Acoustics, that's the word I'm looking for, are just not great in this room, so it sounds a bit echoey, and I need to get a new mic, which will take the tss out of my words every time I talk. Sometimes it picks up the tss. You all know what that is, so I need to get a mic that can block that out and block out background sounds. But anyway, I digress, I'm just waffling on now. But thank you for the 200 subs. Please keep them going. My views have actually gone up exponentially. I think I'm going to get about 300-400 views now. But I've only got 200 subs. So it'd be great if some of you viewers would still sub. That'd be fantastic. I'd like to get up to at least 300 before Christmas. Anyway, let's get on with what's going down. I've been talking to some PS guys recently, and they've been boasting about a multiplayer boost, saying the PS5 is going to get a boost which boosts multiplayer frame rates. Well, I've looked it up, and what I can find is this: PS5 Game Boost feature increases frame rates of some PS4 and PSVR games. Then they're telling me it's going to get a boost for their multiplayer games. Which, firstly, I was highlighting that what multiplayer games on PS5? Are you talking about the third-party ones or the ones that Sony makes, which they don't? Let's be honest here, they only make single-player games. So I'm not sure why that's such. I don't know why they're trying to push that as a narrative, Sony, or maybe just the fanboys. I don't think even Sony are making a big deal of it. But I've got this bit of news here. PS5 Game Boost feature increases frame rates of some PS4 games, PSVR games. Now, we're looking into this, because I always like to look up before I talk to these people, look up the actual facts rather than just copy-pasting what I've heard sort of down the line from sort of a mishmash of loads of other nonsense. A lot of the PS fan base like hear second-hand arguments and then copy-paste that into their own comments, which is absolutely nonsense. I like to look at the facts before I speak, and I think everyone should sort of just follow that as a sort of generally just common sense, really, because you come across as a lot smarter if you know what you're talking about. So, so the era of current console generation will continue through its successor, as Sony has revealed that PS5 will be able to use the Game Boost feature to improve the frame rate of some PS4 and PS5 games. Now, Sony has confirmed that the PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4 games at launch, but not with earlier PlayStation generations. So this is for only PS4 games and PS5 games. They do go on to say, and all it's select PS4 and PS5 games. It's not all of them, it's just select PS4 games. So yes, it will get a frame rate boost for select games. Is that a big deal? See, I just think this is more sort of smoke and mirrors to try to highlight and push the agenda, just rubbishing over all the issues, because the media and IGN have still not mentioned or gone. They just completely phased over the fact that Sony lied to its gamers. The whole cross-gen thing was a whole thing. Having pushed against cross-gen for so long, because Xbox is doing it, Sony announced it, and a lot of media have completely ignored the fact that Sony's going cross-gen, and they're going to have no exclusives for as long as Xbox. Actually, for less, they're going to have no exclusives for longer than Xbox. They've also pushed the idea that God of War. Let's just drop this right now, okay? Let's just get this out there. God of War, as you see at the last game show, they said it's going to be launching in 2021. Now, I'd like to show a show of hands in the comments, if you will. Who believes that game is actually going to launch in 2021? And who believes it's going to be PS5 exclusives? Please put a yes if you think it's going to be, if it is going to launch in 2021. Please put a yes if you do think it's going to be a PS5 exclusive. I'd just love to get a sort of show of hands. I personally think they're lying again, misleading its gamers just to push the PS5 pre-orders. They've come out and said, yes, next year we've got God of War, and I think come next year they're going to go, oh, sorry, it's delayed. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably delayed till 2023. If they're going to chuck out a game that quickly, it's most likely going to be DLC and very likely going to be on PS4, so it won't be exclusive to PS5 at all. But let's not sort of roll off what I'm going on about here. So yes, so they're going to be having a frame rate boost for select PS4 and PS4 games. But see, my issue with this here is, you see, the problem I'm having is, it's all very well that the PS4 is going to have some select boosted PS4 games. That's not entirely great, because that should be a standard thing anyway. That shouldn't really be news. That should be standard. Xbox has been doing it since the Xbox X, let alone the Series X. Series X is going to, most of its games, or majority of its games, if not all its games, are going to be boosted in frame rates and resolution, as Xbox has said. But the Xbox X would even boost in the frame rates and the quality of Xbox One titles. So this PS4 game's been boosted on PS5 shouldn't really be news. It's odd that it's only select titles as well, which suggests there's not many. But they're making that news. All the while, we really want to know what the PS5's up to. I don't really give shits about the PS4, to be honest, the next generation. Because we've got, what's coming out now is we've got Demon's Souls' recent gameplay reveal was running at 1460 FPS.
Oh, no.
The action RPG might fall short of hitting 4K resolution. So it's struggling to, we're talking about next generation console here. This was something the Xbox X, this generation that we're in right now, could manage. The PS5 next generation is struggling with it. The Xbox Series X seems to be having no problems with 4K at the moment, what I can see. And the only scenarios where they've dipped in resolution is where they're pushing games to 120 FPS. But this seems to be struggling with 4K native 60 FPS for its games. Remember, bear in mind, this game, as I've been told by various fanboys, was built from the ground up for the PS5. So don't say, oh, but it's using old technology. Oh, no, you can't backtrack now, my friends. You told me this game was built from the ground up. It's not a remaster, because it was built from the ground up for the PS5.
Oh, no!
So why from the ground up on the PS5 can it not run 4K 60 at least? Why is it not running 4K native 60? See, this kind of thing is an issue. Meanwhile, it's clearly illustrated here in this Xbox YouTube video recently. 9 confirmed 120 FPS Xbox Series X and S games. So Xbox Series X and the Slim have got 9 games confirmed running at 120 FPS. And some of these games, if you watch the video, some of them are 4K native on both. So these games are running 4K native at 120 FPS. Some are at 400 resolution, but still 120 FPS. So I'm trying to get it around my head why the PS5 is running, especially after the Cerny talk and all the waffle about this, and you don't need teraflops, SSD does it all, it's magical, obviously. So I can't get my head around why the PS5 is struggling to run 4K native for a start and 60 FPS when we've got the Xbox Slim running 4K 120 FPS on some of its games. You can watch this video. It's a great video. It goes through obviously 9 games that are confirmed 120 FPS. That's next gen to me. I'm sorry if you people that buy PCs you buy a PC, you throw your money at it for the quality of what the PC gives. It gives a high performance of gaming. That's what you spend your money on. Kind of the same with consoles, right? Really, consoles, you buy it because it's easy, it's more portable, you can sit on your sofa and play it. It's just easier to play. And it's also not as toxic, to be honest. I moved from PC gaming a long time ago because I couldn't be bothered with all the toxicity on PC. By that I mean not so much as them in the chats and stuff, I mean just in the games. They mod games, they cheat on games, they use bots and stuff, and it just really ruins multiplayer gameplay for me on PC. So that's why I stopped playing PC games. You just couldn't have a fair game on it. But the reason why you buy PC is the better quality. But this should also pass over into console. You shouldn't be spending £500 on a console which is struggling to improve on the generation before. As Digital Foundry said a while back, oh, my throat's going there. As Digital Foundry said a while back, PS5, Sony seem to be targeting 4K or lower resolution, 30 to 60 FPS, not 120 FPS at all. And that seems to be right. A lot of their games seem to be running at 30 FPS. We're talking about PS5. We're talking about next gen. We're talking, we're talking about is a 9 teraflop /10 teraflop console when it's overclocked, but it's running 30 FPS. Where's this SSD come into the play? This has come out, Resident Evil 8's PS5 specific issues hinted at by leaker. Now, before you say it's a rumour, it's a leak. Issues specific to Resident Evil. This guy leaked stuff before about Resident Evil, and everyone followed it and thought, yeah, he's right. And it turned out he was right about the stuff they was hinting at. And that's why they went on about how great he was and stuff like that. Now he's coming out and saying it's actually having issues on PS5. I'll say this because this game is actually coming to the Xbox Series X. And it's, as it says there, these issues are simply not present on the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S, the slim version, and PC. These issues are only showing on the PS5 version of The Village. So I'm a bit concerned ultimately about the PS5 totally. It seems to be running games poorly, much to a lot of people's... Well, going against completely what Cerny said in his odd, weird speech 6 months ago, which was very smoke and mirrors and very misleading in the way he sort of presented it. He's still not told me about the calling system, Cerny, if you're watching. I still want to know about your calling system. You said back in March, I believe, when you showed it, thing was, that you would go into more detail about the calling system to help it, to stop the console from overclocking, or overheating when it overclocks, because it does overclock. And you've got a special magical heating system. You've not, calling system, you've not mentioned it whatsoever. You did make your console massive and gigantic. Was that your magical secret sauce heating cooling system? That you just made the console really, really big? Bigger than a PC? Is that your magic? Is that the magic Cerny touch? I do not have much trust in this guy at all. He's very smoke and mirrors. He's a very odd man. And just like Jim Ryan, he's very misleading in what he says. He's very clever. He kind of speaks like a lawyer. When I've known some lawyers, he speaks like a lawyer. And he sort of deviates from the truth, or a politician, as you might imagine, as they do. You ask them a question, and they will give you an answer for something else. So yeah, we just seem to be having across the board issues with the PS5. But let's just not completely go on about that. Let's just go on to what we have got in for next gen in lines of gaming. So, Galgun returns. Yeah, they're remastering this, redoing this for next generations. Anyone remember this game? I'm not into JRPGs, but that's the reason why people buy PS4s apparently, and Xbox needs to get these games, because they're fantastic and the best things going. Personally, reading the story, Galgun is an entertaining story of a young man who becomes super popular with the opposite sex, and is now living the unfortunate life of having every lady that looks his way confessing their undying love for him. I just don't get these games. I don't get a lot of JRPGs and this kind of stuff. But he must still himself and fend these would-be lovers off with his special weapon known as the pheromone shot, as he tries to win the affections of one of the main protagonists. Galgun is the crazy combination of arcade-style shooting action and dating sim that truly has no equal. For sure it doesn't. I'm sure it has no equal. And it just, I don't know about these games. But I'm not going to judge them because I'm not going to play it. I won't like it. I'm not going to play a dating sim. There's no reason for me to play a dating sim. I'm married, firstly. Secondly, it's not real, it's a game. So you're not really going to be dating anyone. So it's just weird. It's anyway, but the interesting thing about this I was just going to mention, it's just going to Xbox, Switch and PC and Steam. It's not going to PS4 or PS5. It's not going to PlayStation at all.
Oh God!
Yeah, they're skipping the PlayStations. This game is returning, but not to PlayStation. And so for anyone excited about JRPGs and picking up this game, pick up a Xbox or get it on PC or Steam or Switch. No doubt it goes straight to Game Pass, as I imagine. But PlayStation are losing this game, and it could be because something to do with their restrictions on just some of the gameplay and stuff. I think it has in it nudity and some other stuff. It's all very just weird, to be honest. But I just wanted to highlight that this game is returning, and it's returning to Xbox and completely skipping PlayStation. And it just seems to be now a lot of games that are coming straight to Xbox. A lot of Japanese studio games that are coming straight to Xbox. The Yakuza games, Yakuza Like a Dragon, I think it's called, which is on Xbox and PS4 and PC. They're remastering it, but that's also skipping PS5. That's just being remastered for the Xbox Series X and will be in Game Pass, and is a launch title for the Xbox Series X Day 1 in Game Pass, the remastered version, and won't be hitting PS5. So yes, we will be getting a remastered Xbox Series X version. So if you like the Yakuza games and you're not playing them yet, be prepared to play them on the Xbox, not on PS5 again. So let me know your comments down below. What you think of? Oh, my controllers keep going there. What you think of Galgun Returns? Are you into dating sims? Are you? No, nor am I. But let me know below your comments. Please please share this out on Twitter and that. Thank you all for getting me above 200. Let's see if I can push 300 now. Let's go. Let's do this. We can do this. Come on, do it. Do it now. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.